Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and what I got for you today is a review of the Feilun FX133. Now, the Feilun FX133 is another little tiny nano quadcopter that you could probably fly indoors or outdoors at your leisure, whichever one you prefer, especially during these cold winter months here. It comes in two different flavors, orange and lime color. Looking at these quadcopters, we're going to fly the green one today, the lime colored one. But looking at it closely, it's just a basic little quadcopter. It has a nice little shape to it. It does include an on-off switch, which I like. A charging port located on the back. 4 little micro motors. Blade protectors for the propellers, so you can fly this indoors pretty well. Or you should be able to fly this indoors pretty well. The controller, though, is where this thing shines. It's a nice controller even for such a small quadcopter. All the important buttons that you need to know are labeled in English, which is great. So this button here is for your different rates, beginner, intermediate, expert. This button here is for activating the flips and telling it which direction to flip by giving it a pitch roll command. This button here is for headless mode. They call it auto orientation. And this button here, it actually does an auto landing. It'll do an auto landing by command if you press this button here, or if you fly out of range of the controller, it will also do an auto landing. It will safely do one up to 15 feet of altitude. Any higher, and actually the motor might shut off before it reaches the ground. So if you keep the quadcopter below 15 feet, you should be able to do a safe auto landing with this quadcopter. So that's the basic outline of this quadcopter. Let's turn it on and see how it flies. Okay, button is on. It has nice little LEDs in the back and on the sides that you can actually see blinking, and on the front. So 2, 4, 6, 8 LEDs on this thing around the circle of the quadcopter body. So putting it on a flat level surface, turning on the transmitter, and pointing in that direction for our headless mode direction, and finding the quadcopter. Let's bring it in close. See it? Looks nice, flies very stable. Okay, we are in beginner's rate right now. Nice stable little flyer. Actually, this would be a great indoor flyer, especially at this low rate. Let's try that flip. Flips very nicely. So 4 directions flip. Let's try the auto land. And it slowly descends to the ground until it lands. You can reset the headless mode direction if you don't like the direction it's pointed, supposedly by pointing the quadcopter in a new direction. We're going to pick that again, and bringing the sticks down and out like such should reset the headless mode. And with that in mind, let's turn on headless mode and see how it works. Pushing. Okay, when headless mode is activated, that is always forward, this direction is always left, and that direction is always right. Whatever direction the quadcopter was pointed at is your headless mode direction. Okay, now I'm turning off auto orientation, and we're going back to manual flying. Now we'll try a higher rate. Where's the rate button? Intermediate rate. Bring it in close again. Okay, that's the intermediate rate. It turns a lot more tighter, but the pitch doesn't seem to increase dramatically. Let's try high speed, high rate. There's its funnels at high rate. Pitch is a little more steep, makes it a little more faster, a little more enjoyable to fly if you're an intermediate flyer. And this is the max yaw rate. Left yaw. It's not insane yaw, but it's still controllable. Okay, let's go out in the field a bit and see about flying out of range. Well, actually, I'm not going to do that. I just flew another little quadcopter here yesterday and flew out of range, and I had a heck of a time finding it out in that field there. So I'm not going to do that. Or maybe I can do that. Do that right here. We'll fly up this way. I'll be able to see it instead of in that grass. It's supposed to land, and there it goes. It landed. Let's go over and see it. I just saw it land just now. It flew out of range of the transmitter. I gave it full throttle down. It was descending, and then it came back into range of the transmitter, and then it dropped like a rock. So yes, if it does fly out of range, it'll start a slow descent. Let's see if I still got control. Yes, I do. So I'm bringing it back in. Range seemed about 30 meters there, folks, which is reasonable for a quadcopter this size. Going back to beginner's rate. Let's take it up high. Okay, that's high enough. I don't want to lose sight of this little thing. And bringing it back down again. So yeah, this is a nice little quadcopter. Let's get a thumbnail. Flying overhead. Feilun or Feilun. I've seen it spelled two different ways, with a Y and an L. But a nice beginner's quadcopter. Very stable. Actually, extremely stable. So off we go again. So we'll fly it until the battery goes out. Try to keep it close to, since this is such a tiny quadcopter. But again, you know, this is another nice stocking stuffer. I look at these tiny micro drones this time of year, like I said in my other video. There goes the battery, because it's Christmas season, and people look for little beginner stocking stuffers. This is another one you might consider again. The Feilun FX133. Hope you enjoyed the flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.